Hello, my dear family, peace be with you today. I have brought you the most popular movie called Purity Falls, which was released in 2019. My family, please help us by liking the video without wasting time. Let's go to the movie. Yes, the movie starts with a cheerful family of four. The family includes the dad, Saf, his partner, Nico, and the two kids, Jason and Justine. The four family members are sitting in the garden talking, and John asks his dad to play ball. Suddenly, Jason's dad feels a sharp pain in his chest and falls to the ground. The family tries to help their dad, but he suddenly has a heart attack and dies right in front of his wife and kids. Jason's father's death really impacted the whole family, especially the kids because they were very close to him a year after her husband died. Nicole moved to New City with her kids to help deal with the sadness of his unexpected death. Jason is still mad and sad about moving to a different city. He accidentally meets a young man named Chad, who lives next door to their new house. It looks like Chad goes to the same school as Jason. Jason gets home and is surprised to see a woman named Courtney who lives nearby. Courtney goes to the family's house to say hello and meet Nicole and her kids. She then tells Jason to help her with landscaping before she goes. Nicole goes after her, starts crying, and shares that she lost her husband a year ago and is feeling very lonely and stressed. Courtney tries to make her feel better and tells her to think of her as a sister. That night, Chad is at home by himself when he suddenly hears a sound coming from the pool. While he is looking for where the sound is coming from, an unknown person attacks him and he is killed in the pool. The next day, Jason finds out that Chad has died. It was said to be an accident where he drowned, not a murder. Jason's first day at the new school goes well when he makes a friend named Daniel. Daniel asks him to join the wrestling team. They like spending time together. A girl named Clara sees Jason and likes him. Jason likes her too. He asks her to go on a date. Jason realizes he doesn't have enough money for the date, so he decides to take the landscaping job with Courtney to earn the cash he needs. Jason talks to Courtney, who says she will hire him for gardening work, and tries to flirt with him a little. She makes him be in a relationship with her. Jason is working in the garden for a new client, but he's shocked when the client tries to flirt with him. Feeling anxious, he goes back to Courtney to tell her what happened. Courtney says she didn't hire him just to do landscaping. She says that her clients are women who are having marriage issues, and Jason's job is to form close relationships with these women to make up for the lack of attention from their husbands. She lets him take some time to consider this unusual job offer. Nicole, Jason's mom, meets a student at school who tells her that Chad, who passed away in the pool, was doing the same job that Courtney is now offering to Jason. Chad made a lot of money, but chose to quit his job with Courtney. Later, he was found dead in the pool. It looks like he might have come back the next day. Jason goes back to Courtney, who says sorry for not telling him about the job sooner. She persuades him to team up with her by talking about his money problems and how he could make quick cash. Jason is convinced to start meeting clients and getting close to them to make them feel good. He gives the money to Courtney and gets addresses for new customers. He uses this money to buy a birthday present for his mom. Over time, Jason keeps working for Courtney and finds home to his mom, who sees that it's late. Jason is not telling the truth and says he was with his friend Daniel the next day. Jason meets Courtney and tells her angrily about what happened. He feels angry that he was sent to meet a client without knowing her husband would be back. Suddenly, a man named Benjamin comes up to him, attacks him unexpectedly, and threatens to kill him. Benjamin tells Jason that he has to keep working for Courtney because she might hurt his whole family out of revenge, scared of Benjamin's threats. Jason keeps working for Courtney. She is planning a party with the last client Jason saw before he ran away. This client tells Courtney that her husband found out about her affair and has left her because of Jason. Courtney is scared that the woman will reveal what she is doing, so she tells Benjamin to get her money back instead. Benjamin ends up killing the woman, but he comes back to Courtney with a gunshot wound in his stomach caused by her before she died. Benjamin asks Courtney to call a doctor, but she says no and lets him bleed to death because she can no longer control him. She digs a hole and puts his body in it. Jason goes home and tells his mom he was with Daniel. His mom tells him to stay away from Daniel because she thinks he is rude. Jason says no. Later, Jason and Daniel find out that Chad had also worked for Courtney, and they start to think he might have been killed. The two friends decide to take Courtney out of the picture that night. Jason goes to Courtney's house to get a notebook that has the names of all her workers and customers. Jason understands that the notebook is strong proof to charge Courtney with human trafficking, but Courtney points a gun at him, takes him to the garage, and ties him up. Suddenly, Jason's mom and sister, who were looking at Courtney's house from afar, step in. They thought Jason was cheating on Courtney. Jason's sister sees Courtney walking out of the garage with a gun and calls their mom, but their mom left her phone at home. Nicole comes to Courtney's house and is surprised to see Jason tied up in the garage. She tries to stay out of sight after she hears Courtney speak. A fight breaks out, and Nicole stabs Courtney with a screwdriver. She tries to rescue Jason and run away, but Courtney stops them with a gun and is still alive. At the last second, Jason's sister steps in and shoots Courtney with their dad's gun, saving her brother and mom. 6 months later, Nicole decides to return to their old house with her kids. The family decides to remember the anniversary of their father's death, knowing he will always be a part of their lives. The movie ends here.